How's it going, everyone? Codename Soap here, coming at you today with a little something different, an update video. If you couldn't tell by the title, it's time for a change around these parts. Now, I don't want anyone thinking that just because you see a title that something's angry and mean and upset and all that. No. So, recently, I was playing the Dark Souls 2, just going through, doing my thing, and after failure, because I failed to get good, as those Dark Souls fans like to say, I got to a point where I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Now, the gameplay you're seeing is Slay the Spire. You can pay attention to it, or you can ignore it. It's simply a placeholder. But back to the original point. So I was playing Dark Souls 2, and I was like, what am I doing? So at first I thought, well, maybe I'm approaching this boss wrong, the Royal Aegis or Aegis, however you actually pronounce it. And I went back into the things betwixt, found that you can respec your character, so you can like change your attributes and your points around, essentially. And I had soul vessels. I had like 3 or 4 of them, something like that I picked up along the way. I was like, all right, maybe I need to respec my character. And I was going through, and I decided, like, kind of looking around online, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go with a kind of a hybrid of a bit of a caster, because that's what I beat Dark Souls 1 with initially, was kind of more of a caster character. And I like the sword play. I like having that option, so maybe I can blend the two, like a hybrid character. So I went through and did that. I spent a lot of time going through, kind of backtracking and finding items that would help me out, like, you know, a staff, a catalyst, if you will, buying spells and some stuff, and was like just going through, and I was like, all right, I like the way this plays. You know, I got some range on me, some dark hex magic, and then I went back to the Royal Aegis, and was recording, and just kept hitting that same wall, and was just like, So basically the game wore me down a little bit, not in like a really bad way. I was enjoying the backtracking and picking up the items and all that, and I still like Dark Souls, and I still want to beat this game, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that anytime soon, because as the title says, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. To quote the late, great Owen Hart, that's where that's coming from. That's wrestling. So anywho, on to the topic at hand. And this is where you guys get to come in. So I'm not going to continue the Dark Souls series on here, and it's not the same reason that I had the first time we tried to do the first Dark Souls, where I just didn't feel like grinding. I don't mind grinding in this game. It actually is, like, my mindset then for grinding is completely different than my mindset now for grinding. So it's not a grinding thing. It's just, when it comes to playing games, I'm decided that difficulty is the main catalyst here. Difficulty is no longer important to me. It's more the story. I'm definitely more leaning towards story in a game and just the overall experience. Yeah, Dark Souls, you know, they're all known for being difficult games, and you know, I kind of figured now in the Dark Souls 2 we're close to the end, but it's getting to a point to where the difficulty of trying to figure out this particular boss and my character and what I need to do is more work than I want to put in right now. That's what it is. And saying that, you know, we've addressed the Dark Souls 2. It's not going to continue, so for those of you who have watched the series and, you know, enjoyed it up to this point, my apologies. I don't want to let anyone down, but at the same time, this is something that I am not enjoying in the way that I feel needs to be put out for you guys to enjoy, because if I'm not enjoying it and not, you know, making it fun of my lack of enjoyment, then I don't know what I can do with it, and it's just a lost cause, if you will. So what I've decided is we're continuing Skyrim, you know, continuing the Bloodline story, but in saying that, that leaves a bit of a gap. I don't want to go back to just one video a week. It would be very easy to do that, but I don't want to. I'm still in a very, you know, creative mindset. So here is where the meat and potatoes of this video, of this conversation is, what would you guys like to see? Now, here's an option, just an option. I could do 2 Skyrim videos a week. You know, easy enough. I just record 2 episodes per week, put them up, and there we go. We just keep continuing with Skyrim. It's just 2 videos a week instead of 1. Another option is that I can bring a different game into the fold and play that. Now, in that option are 2 more options. Oh, we got options abound, dear readers. One option of a new game is we just sit down, we just play it the way we normally do. That's one option. You know, long, no cutting things out. Just here's the gameplay, here's me playing it, here's what we do. We've been doing it for a while. You know how it goes. The other is something that has definitely been on my mind for quite a while because it's something I'm like, man, I miss this. And that is how we approached the Hitman videos. So if you don't remember or never watched the Hitman videos, let me fill you in so you don't have to watch everything, but you're more than welcome to go back and watch the Hitman videos. Instead of it being a traditional quote-unquote let's play, you know, the way that things are normally done, I kind of did a greatest hits of here's what happened in this level. So they were shorter videos, and in my opinion, they were a bit funnier because Hitman is the type of game that lends itself to some humor if you go through with the right mindset. And so there was extra editing thrown in, so like various graphics and screen effects, just extra editing, extra production value, all that stuff was thrown in, and I really enjoyed doing that. It takes a while to do all of that, believe it or not. It takes a lot longer to do one of those videos than it does just about anything else, with the exception of trailers. A normal video is I sit down, I hit record, play it, edit out, loading screens or travel times, things like that, and then just here you go. That's it. There's a beginning, with a little intro, there's an end thing, and then the rest in the middle. Very easy to do. But the way we did Hitman was kind of like the in-between of all of that, where it's not a 2 to 3 minute long trailer, so it's longer in content, but there's all these edits and extra stuff that gets thrown in. 99% of it's just strictly for humor, and I love doing that stuff. So that's an option of a new game, but one of 2 different ways of approaching it. Both I'm happy with. The other option that has come to mind is that we just do the 1 video a week, and we, instead of having 2 videos, so one day will be videos and another day will be Twitch streaming, which definitely love doing that. I've said it for so long that I enjoy overall doing Twitch more than YouTube because it's pretty much instant interaction. I get to hang out with you guys. We get to just sit around. There's game going, what have you, interact, have fun. I love doing that. So there's that. Those are some of the things that have just floated into my giant, abnormal-sized head and are now being filtered out to you guys. So what do you think? Now, as far as things that are going to happen, the definites here. So one is that once the Bloodline story is done, I'm going to be done with Skyrim. Not because I don't like Skyrim or because I'm bored of Skyrim. Not that. I just don't have any new stories that would lend themselves to Skyrim and telling the story there. Essentially, once Skyrim's done, I'm going to be done with it. It's happened before, but it now for realsies this time. I know if the lovely Jenna sees this, she's going to roll her eyes and shake her head at me because she's heard me say this before when I've talked to her, like, I think I'm going to be done with this game. She knows me and knows that if I get like a creative itch, that I'm just going to do it. But I don't have any stories to tell for Skyrim anymore. I've run out of ideas. I think that Bloodline is going to be a nice ending for Skyrim and the stories we've told there. And part of the reason is that I have considered writing a book, and there's a story that I have in mind that, yeah, I could tell some of it through Skyrim, but in all honesty, to flesh it out, it would need to be a book. Is what it is. And so it's just an idea that I could potentially start writing a book that is about a story and a world and all this other stuff that I have in place. And that would be extremely time consuming when I would actually dedicate time to do it. That's back to the update of what's going to happen is once Bloodlines done, Skyrim is done here. So I don't know what's going to happen after that. I don't know if I'm going to continue YouTube after that, just because I don't know if there's going to be anything else just to fill in those blanks, those gaps. So yeah, that's what's happening. Like I said, not because I'm bored or anything like that. I'm in fact far from it, way far from it. I'm in a very creative mindset and I want to create, and I still love playing my video games. And as much as I love merging the two, it's just difficult. Now, maybe when Elder Scrolls 6 rolls around, then we can get back into it. You know, maybe. But at the same time, I don't know. But if there's something else out there, like another game, that could lend itself to some storytelling, or just has a great story in and of itself, maybe there's something there. And then, of course, there's Twitch, where we can just put games out, just hang out, just play. And that's it. So that's where my mind is at. Now this is where you come in. What do you guys think of all that rambling, all that stuff? I wouldn't still be doing this, 8, 9, 10 years later. I forget how long I've been putting videos out. I don't know. I don't keep track of everything. But let me know what you think. And that's it for right now. So, before I go, as always, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you guys later.